I have spent my entire career working in mail order businesses. So I started off at sort of pure play mail order businesses where everything was catalog driven, and I've gone through that transition of moving through to businesses which were majority catalog and just starting off with an online environment, and then moving through the businesses through to where it's completely e-commerce. And it's been quite a journey, and I feel privileged to have been around in that era really, where businesses have moved a lot away from just pure play catalogs to pure online. So I'm here to talk to you about what we do at Bulk Powders. I think the theme yesterday came across and resonated a lot with me. Was to get the most out of these sessions, it needs to be interactive. So I don't want to just talk to you without anything coming back. So if you've got any questions, just shout, heckle, do whatever you want. Happy to answer questions throughout or save them till the end. But the main things I want to talk to you about is a bit of who we are, and then our approach to CRM. So a little bit about the current market that we're in, the challenges, how we look to simplify CRM, which from my point of view is a big thing for me. Simplifying it and putting your mind in the view of the consumer is key. The customer journey, and then how we create that sort of multi-channel approach within a pure play e-commerce businesses. And then we'll touch a little bit on automation and influencers. So a little bit about us. So just show of hands, anyone heard of Bulk Powders before they came to Revolution? Blimey, that was more than I thought. Anyone purchased anything from Bulk Powders? Okay, good. Even more than I thought. Good. Okay, so a little bit about who we are. We're a privately owned company, founded in 2006 by two chaps, Adam Rossiter and Elliot Dawes. They met at university, the University of Essex, and they were very entrepreneurial from a very early age, and they had this vision. They both loved the gym. Adam was studying computer science. He was a computer geek. He still is a computer geek. Elliot was studying law. He still likes law. But they had this shared passion, which is gym. They loved the gym. And they both bought sports nutrition products. But they had this issue and this vision that the products that they were buying, they didn't know what was in them. They were buying these very expensive protein powders, creatine, carbohydrate powders. They were buying them, but they didn't know what was in them. It wasn't very transparent. And then when they did find out what was in them, they found out that they were packed full of fillers, cheap ingredients, and they were paying an absolute fortune for them. And they sort of thought, well, there has to be a better way of doing it. There has to be a way of giving consumers choice of what they can buy and making it at a cheaper price. So they got their heads together. They formed a company called Bulk Powders, which started off on that kind of transparent journey. It enables consumers to buy exactly what they want. You can buy mixes of protein powders. You can buy single ingredients. If you're into sports nutrition, you can get what you want from us. And now fast forward 12 years, and we are now one of the largest sports nutrition companies in Europe. We are projecting to turn over 45 million this year. We have almost 200 staff, have offices in Colchester, which is where our headquarters are, where Adam and Elliot met at the University of Essex. We have an office in London. We now operate in 13 different markets all around Europe. We are shortly expanding into the US, and boy, that's a challenge, I can tell you. It's even more of a challenge now Trump has come in. Yeah, anyone wants to talk to me about that, we can have a private session on that. We have an in-house production team with industry-leading standards. So we know exactly what goes into our ingredients and exactly what what makes it. Last year we were 34th in the Sunday Times Virgin Fast Track Awards, so pretty good achievement for a company founded just by two guys at university. And we recently won Men's Fitness Gold Award for the best whey protein, which is our pure whey. So we are, a really nice company to work for, fast growing. And the final slide at the bottom, which I wouldn't be here if this wasn't true, let's be honest. But we are a heavy user and advocate of Emarsys. So just a few key stats about our customers. So we've got over 1 million customers, of which half have traded with us in the last year. So then that goes to show the growth rate that we're on. We have very high retention rates, so 70% retention rate, 65% of our customers are opted into our emails. We massively over-index on ages 18 to 34, so that won't be a surprise to many of you here. And we have a 65-35 male to female split, although that is narrowing. So last year it was 70-30, and I expect by the end of this year it will probably be 60-40, if not a fraction higher. Okay, so our approach to CRM. So to start with, I think it's important that we understand what the market is. And the market in sports nutrition now is difficult for us. It's a growing sector. So in that sense, it's good for us. It's far better to be in a growing category and a growing sector than it is one that's shrinking. But that comes with its challenges, and it is competitive, and I mean very competitive. There's lots of players in the market. Because it's growing, lots of new entries are coming in, and that comes with its real challenges. It means that businesses are all scrambling after that growth. Lots of companies send out emails to their customers every single day, with offers on every single day, and if you're not careful, it just becomes a race to the bottom, and that's a real issue from CRM and trading. So I said at the beginning that I head up CRM and I head up trading, and in a certain number of respects, there's a conflict of interest there for me. So if I had my CRM hat on over here, I'm like, okay, why would I want to contact this customer who shopped from us 2 weeks ago? Because I know they don't want to buy anything more from us. They don't really want to hear from us. And if I had my trading hat on, I'm like, geez, we are missing our numbers, and we need every penny we can get. So I don't care whether they bought 2 weeks ago. Just email them, do anything, make them buy again. And I would like to think that probably resonates with quite a few of you around the room. So where I'm looking after both of those, I have to kind of balance that conflict and sort of make sure that we create that user journey. So in our approach to CRM, it's important to start at the beginning. We wanted to create a simple user journey and put ourselves in the mindset of the consumer. We heard quite a lot yesterday about we are all consumers first and marketers second, and that really kind of hit home with me. And we tried to do that. So we tried to put ourselves in the mindset of the consumer and say, okay, if we were a consumer, what would we want to do? So we start at the beginning. We create them a nice welcome program, and during that welcome program, we ask our customers to tell us about them. Why have they come to bulk powders? What are they buying? What are their goals? What type of products do they like? Do you go to the gym? How often do you go to the gym? And just trying to give us data. And again, we heard about this yesterday. If you make it clear to consumers as to why you're asking that data and what you're going to do with it, then A, you'll get a good response, and B, consumers are happy to share it for you. What they're not happy to do is if you collect data, you don't tell them why you're doing it, and it just kind of feels that creepy approach. But be honest with your customers, tell them why you're doing it, and give them the benefits of why it's better for them to tell you. Once we've got that data, we then use their on-site behavior and purchase patterns to drive our personalization. So we kind of add together the learnings that we get from our welcome program and what they tell us about them with all of their on-site behavior. So the web extend script that's on, we know when our customers are coming to our site, what products they're looking at, what categories they're looking at, when they make a purchase, when they abandon, put all of that together to drive our communications to them. And then use traditional RFM metrics. So if I go back to my catalog days, recency, frequency, monetary value is still very much key, but the technology of today enables us to simplify that and just use it in an everyday business. And then again, what was said yesterday about the 4 Ps or the 4 Cs that we like to talk about yesterday, I think it's important that technology allows us to put the right product at the right price with the right promotion at the right place in front of that consumer. And I think if in a day-to-day business, it's hard to sometimes take a step back, but for us, it's important to always just take a step back and say, okay, is that what we're doing? And how can we do that? How can we do that better?
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Just a quick question, sorry about
That's okay.
What do you mean on the right price? You use dynamic pricing based on the user behavior like Fight Company?
I would love to say yes, but no. In terms of, a consumer will only buy something if it's at the right price. And in our market, the market sets the price because it's a competitive market, and as much as everyone in this market would love to think that a customer will only ever buy from bulk powders because they love bulk powders, they love the flavors, they love the service. Yes, there's a hardcore group of those loyal customers, but there's a much bigger pot who will buy from any of the companies at whoever is at the right price. So it's kind of understanding when a consumer is ready to reorder and then putting that product, the right product with the right promotion at the right price in front of them. Okay. So this is a little bit about our customer journey and customer life cycle. So when I first joined Bulk Powders, which was coming up to 3 years ago, this kind of big blocks at the bottom, the daily batch and blast emails was all we did. And it was, every day an email was sent, and it was sent to every customer, and it was the same email to every customer. And I think deep down the business knew that that wasn't the right approach, but we had this sort of balancing act to do, and we did a lot of testing, and every time we sent fewer emails, our revenue dropped. So why would you send fewer emails if your revenue is just going to drop? And we still have that. We still have that issue today. So right now we send a lot fewer emails per customer than what we did 3 years ago. But I'm still, we still send too many emails as a business, and I'm still desperately trying to find ways of sending fewer emails without dropping our revenue. And I guess one of the key areas of that is to send customers through a kind of a user journey. So essentially, all of the smaller boxes up the top are automation programs and triggered journeys that our customers go through. And the key thing is that whenever a customer is in one of these journeys, they're never going to get a daily batch and blast email from us. So there is always, right now, there is always a need that someone at some point is in the right mindset and the right part of their journey to get one of our daily emails from us. But there's an awful lot more customers who aren't because they're in one of these other user journeys. So we start off with our welcome program. Spoke about that a little bit, but that's a very kind of softly approach, talking to the customers about who we are, what type of products we sell, what kind of content we can give them. So we have a blog on our site which has literally thousands of articles for consumers to read. It has recipe ideas, it has training guides, it has nutritional information, and our welcome program focuses on that area. We then, replenishment doesn't always come next, but replenishment is for us, we sell a consumable product. So I mean by that someone buys a protein shake, they use it, they consume it, and in theory, they buy it again. So we should be able to tell roughly when someone is ready to repurchase that particular product that they've bought, whether it be vitamin tablets or a protein shake. So we use Emarsys to do a replenishment campaign, which is quite a simple journey, lasts for about a week. There's a couple of emails and an SMS, which basically says to people, are you ready to reorder your cinnamon swirl flavored cutting edge protein? And if you are, here's a quick way that you can reorder it. We then have a single buyer's journey, which this is, for me, one of the most important life cycle journeys that we have. So single buyers, for me, Emarsys will probably call it first-time purchase to active customers. But it's sending the communications out at the very point where someone has bought from us once, and unless we get them to buy from us again, chances are we're not going to see them again. So it's basically converting those single buyers into multi-buyers at the optimum time. And our business model is very much once you convert someone to a multi-buyer, then they'll come back to us and buy time and time again. So the single buyer journey is really important for us. And then we have two lapsing programs. A lapsing, which is, we're pretty sure that this customer is on the way out, and can we do anything now to try and incentivize them to come back? And when I say incentivize them, it's different from perhaps other companies. It's not all offer-driven for our lapsing programs, because in this competitive environment that we're in, these customers have been getting offers pretty much day in, day out, or been exposed to offers. So our lapsing programs are more about asking them if they're still into the category. Do you still go to the gym? Do you still buy our product? Do you still buy vitamins? Trying to find out from them if there's anything wrong, if there's anything we can do to make their journey better and make their experience better. And that for us works better than another kind of, hi Mark, we miss you, please come back to us, which is, I guess, more of your traditional lapsing program. So that's the kind of the user journey at the top, and then the 4 boxes underneath are at any point within those journeys, they can fall into these other ones. So post-purchase, fairly obvious what that's about. So someone makes their purchase, talks to them about, is everything okay? Would they like to review their product? Use the Emarsys product recommendations to offer them products that they may also be of interest to them. Anniversary. So we copied this. We copied this from ASOS, who do a really good anniversary program. And we really liked it, so we thought we'll have a bit of that. So basically, it goes out a year after they made their first purchase, talks a little bit about what's been happening in the year that they made their first purchase, what products they've bought, and so on. And it's, it's not a big sales driver for us, but it's a good engagement tool for us. And the more we can engage in our customers, the better. Birthday, don't need to say too much about that, fairly obvious. AOV drivers, this is quite a neat one. So a lot of the products that we sell, there is there's your basic version, and then there's a premium version. We call it a pure series and a pro series version. And so we use Emarsys Smart Insight to identify all the customers who have always bought the basic version of our product, never bought the premium version, and then talk to them about the benefits of the premium version and why it may or may not be of interest to them. It doesn't have to be, you must buy this premium product. It's just putting it in front of them. They may not be aware of it, just see whether it's of interest to them. And it works well for us. And then there's the retargeting. So your abandoned browse, your abandoned category, your abandoned cart. So this is kind of our journey. And I guess the key thing is daily batch and blast still has its point. There's always, in our sector, going to be someone somewhere in their journey who is ready for a daily batch and blast email. But more importantly, take as many of our customers as we can out of that, send them the triggered emails, and send fewer emails because of they're in one of those journeys rather than in the daily batch and blast. Okay, this is all about creating a personalized approach. Now, I would say we do a pretty good job of personalization, but by no means are we there yet, and there's certainly a lot more we can do. But in short, there's not a single email that we send that isn't personalized in one way, shape, or form. And we do that by using all of the tools within Emarsys and identifying what type of customer they are, what type of content they're interested in. So, to keep our emails interesting, we always put our blog articles, whether it's recipes, nutritional guides, we always put those in, but we put the relevant ones in that are relevant for that particular consumer. We do put product recommendations in, and when I say personalization is important for us, it's not just important, it's to a certain extent, it's business critical. And I say that because we have very different types of customers who buy from us. So, go back 12 years when Adam and Elliot first formed the business, it was pretty much a hardcore bodybuilding company. The target market was men who were 18 to 25. The gym was their life. They couldn't walk past a mirror without, look all right. And the business has changed since then, and the category has changed. So, yes, we still have that hardcore customer, but we have an awful lot of other customers who maybe just come to us and buy their vitamin tablets once a month. The vegan sector is growing hugely, and we have a huge kind of vegan market now. And it's really important, and it's business critical that we communicate to our customers with not just the right products, but the right content. And when I say it's business critical, it's, if I send an email out to one of our vegan customers and say, fancy trying a bit of beef jerky, you'll really love it, they will not only find it not particularly relevant, but they will be offended by it, and that's our opportunity gone. They just wouldn't come back. So it's really important for us to create that personalized approach. And we use it we try to join up all of our channels. So email and SMS are the channels that we use most. SMS is very powerful for us, and if I put my trading hat on, I have to be really careful on how often I use SMS, because every time I use SMS, our sales go through the roof. We have almost record trading days, and I'm like, I could just do another SMS. We're struggling. I could just do one more. We're missing our numbers. I've just got a phone call from the founders saying what's happening with trading. I could just do one more SMS, but there's not a long-term strategy. So there's this balance with how often we use it, and so we try to join up the channels. So we generally send SMS once or twice a month maximum, but if we've got consumers who are engaged with the brand, still come to our site a lot, still view our products a lot, but for whatever reason don't open our emails, then they're more likely to get an SMS than a consumer who is engaged with our emails and constantly opens them. So try to use Emarsys to identify what's the right channel. So if you go back to your 4 Ps, kind of what's the right place for that particular consumer? Is it email? Is it SMS? Paid social we use a lot of now, and that's using Emarsys CRM ads, and we use it a lot to put right types of social in front of the right consumer. So today's a good example in that we're launching some new products today. So all over our social feeds using paid social will be adverts for that particular product that we're launching today, but who we think it's relevant to. So we've used our CRM ads within Emarsys to say, okay, these are the type of consumer who is going to be interested in this new product that we're launching. Let's put it in email, let's put it in their social feed, let's get our social athletes and ambassadors to do it. So those consumers get multiple touch points of the same type of product, but only the ones who are relevant. So if this product isn't going to be relevant to a consumer, then I don't want to fill up their social timelines and their feeds with stuff that's not relevant to them. Paid search, again, we use Emarsys CRM ads to feed some of our paid search. We don't do this a huge amount, but where we do it is, and where we do it particularly well, is identifying who are our VIP customers, who are our customers who we love the most and we really don't want to lose. And if we've got one of those customers and they go off and they Google whey protein, I don't want our competitors to be anywhere near that customer when they search whey protein. So we use those CRM ads to feed our social, and we just upweight our bids fairly aggressively for those type of customers. And again, it works well for us. And we still do a little bit of direct mail. I don't think I'll ever lose my catalog days entirely, and there is still a small part in our business for direct mail. So we still do it generally around our real peak times, and only to the right type of customers, the customers who don't necessarily respond to email and those other channels. So there is definitely a market for us for that. So automation. Automation Center in Emarsys is, I'm not going to do a sales pitch for Emarsys here, but I love it, and I could spend many hours of many of my days just playing around with different ways of different user journeys and sending them. And we have a lot of Automation Center programs running. In fact, I just did a quick count while I was doing this presentation, and I actually surprised myself to find that we've got over 500 different automation programs running, which are active right now. And some of them are really simple, some of them are a bit more complicated, but it's a tool, and I said right at the beginning that we wanted to create fairly complex user journeys that are simplified through technology, and that Automation Center allows that to happen. So, all of those programs that we spoke about are all driven through the Automation Center, and there's just a kind of example of how they work. And my catalog days of test and learn still resonate with me, and every one of our automation programs A/B splits, sends people down certain journeys, we work out what one works, and then we'll roll it out, and then we'll test it again, and we'll sort of continually be learning. And I just wanted to touch on influencer marketing as well for us. So influencer marketing was spoken a little bit yesterday in terms of the right demographic and which age groups are influenced by athletes and ambassadors and influencers. And for us, we are. Anthony Joshua is our key kind of headline sponsor. But it's a fairly big part for us, and it's not a huge area for CRM, but we do utilize it. And how we utilize it in CRM is to use our athletes and our ambassadors to create great content that our customers want to see and want to be a part of. And it's that content that you can create that keeps it interesting for our customers. Deep down, we all know as a business that our customers don't want to hear from us as regularly as we talk to them. Deep down we know that, and the ultimate goal, I guess, is to only communicate to customers when they want to hear from us, not when we want to communicate to them. And we can try and do that, and we're trying to do that by creating great content. So here are just a few of our athletes and ambassadors that we use. So we have a various kind of mixture of athletes. Some are very well known. I guess on here, the ones that are the most well known is Anthony Joshua. He is probably the most well-known sportsman in this country right now. Tom Daley, you probably all know Tom Daley. But then there are other athletes and ambassadors who are influencers in their own right, who have created their career through influencing people and just building up a kind of a social network and a social following, but in our category. And then there are bodybuilders. So we try to cover that sort of broad spectrum. But from a CRM perspective, they all have a common goal for us, and that is to use them to create great content that we can put in front of our customers, and that our customers would want to read, want to watch, but most importantly, want to share. And that's what we try to do. So I just want to share with you one particular piece of content that we did just recently that's done really well for us. Our customers seem to love it. And it was a video that we created, and it was called Train Like a Champ. So I'll let you watch it, but it stars Anthony Joshua, and it tries to put customers into the kind of mindset of if you use our product, it's no magic formula. And you have to put into it your effort, your passion, your time, and if you train like a champ, then you'll get a lot out of it.
Fake rappers in my universe, that's way. Man to the game, so if you catch me with a stack, that's bait. With the crew behind me, fake friends kill me with the truth. When in this part, the fake you despise me. All I do is write the homies, homie. I don't listen to words, you gotta show me. You ain't talking money, you ain't talking shit. We a pack of wolves and we gotta eat. Feel brand new, feel brand new, feel brand new. Me and my crew, feel brand new, feel brand new. So we feel brand new. Feel brand new, feel brand new. Me and my crew, all we ever do is thunder up. We hit the stage, we ready to raise, we thunder up. Stay in your place, we get in your face and thunder up. We hit the stage, we ready to raise, we thunder up. Stay in your place, we get in your face and thunder up. Call Mars up and I swore.
Okay, so I guess one of the key reasons for showing that is to say that you can have all the technology in the world, and you can have the best layers of personalization, have it all open to you, but unless you create that great content, unless you create that product, then you're not going to succeed. So yes, technology makes it easier, but you still have to be marketers at the end of the day. You still have to market your product, you still have to sell it, and you still need to come up with those great ideas. Go back to what Joe Malone was saying yesterday. You still have to be a marketer. You still have to sell.